I'm not often speechless, but wow. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to potentially the most monumental movie review that I will ever do on my channel. And does it feel like I'm contained a little bit? Maybe it's because I'm still sorting through the emotions coming out of that very unexpected finale. And just so you guys know, I've made it apparent in the title, but no spoilers in this review, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get this out. I was actually doing a little collab review with a man named Ryan Snelling. You guys might know him from Collider Afterthoughts. That's right, he works with Collider, and he has an amazing YouTube channel called Sight and Sound. Check out our collab review later on tonight on that channel. But right now, I kind of want to dig into this film myself. If you guys have never watched a review of mine, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score. Let's try to do this without giving anything away. First off, what a monumental task. I mean, every review that you have clicked on YouTube has said the same thing over and over. 10 years, the culmination of the MCU, but it's not something that should be overlooked, so I kind of want to bring that point up and just hit on the fact that if they didn't nail this, I wouldn't have been surprised because it's such a hard thing to do to balance so many characters, and they did a great job in Civil War, and Joss Whedon did it in the first Avengers, but then you look at how many characters you pile on top of all of those, and it just comes out to something that I honestly didn't know if they could do a good job. And even if it would have just been a good job, I would have been so impressed and said, wow, I can't believe they pulled this off just by the skin of their teeth. Is that the skin of their teeth? That doesn't make sense. They did more than just pull it off. I think they've given us one of the best full-on blockbusters in recent memory. Now, I'm not saying this film is the best made movie I've ever seen. There were a couple of things, a couple of problems that I had, minor problems. But when you look at this film on a blockbuster level, from that standpoint, you look at what a summer blockbuster should be and is, and then you add in the emotional stakes, characters that you've had time to sit and relate to for 10 years. And maybe it's a little cheat code that Marvel's using. You don't have to develop them in this movie. You know who they are and what they are, and because of that, we didn't really need that depth that I think some of the movies in the Marvel Universe have given us at this point. But who we did need depth from was a character by the name of Thanos, and I'm here to tell you guys right now, I have a video coming out later on in the next couple of days explaining why I think Thanos is the best Marvel villain so far, and why I think he's one of the best villains in general in recent memory, because this is absolutely 100%. I didn't know if I would agree with people, but this is his movie. He is the main character, and you don't just get that backstory. You don't just get his interaction with the characters. You get a full-on Thanos film at some points, and I loved every second of it because Josh Brolin did something special. He looked fantastic. The CGI was almost perfect at every single moment. There are times when you can say, it's not absolutely, but my goodness, guys, the facial expressions, the movements, you compare him to some other CGI villains we've gotten in the last few years, and it's not even close. Thanos is by design and by interaction and by even when you go to the script, something as simple as that, he is just one of the best villains we have ever had, and he really made this film above what I was expecting it to be. Actually, I can't say that because I was expecting this movie to be the best thing I've ever seen. And I don't even know if it's my favorite movie in the MCU. Maybe top 3, top 5. I'll have to figure that out before I post my ranking in the next few days. But the balance, I think that's one thing I really want to hit on right now. The balance of these characters and just bringing certain elements of certain characters to the forefront and kind of scaling back on other characters. I didn't get as much from certain characters that I love personally. Maybe I wanted to see a little bit more Captain America. He's in the movie quite a bit, but I'm spoiled. I want to see a little bit more from him. Then there's other characters that just, they're there. They have 1 or 2 lines of dialogue, but then they're not really there anymore. But the cool thing is, go back to what I just said. They have 1 or 2 lines of dialogue, but those lines of dialogue are important. Even the characters with the most minimal amount of screen time, they all had their moment. Whether that was a big moment, a small moment. Some of the characters who got small moments, sure, they didn't get their chance in this film, but keep in mind, we have another Avengers movie coming next year, and the ones who survived will have a chance to tell their story or have their moment next year. Like, I'm not saying anybody dies, but, I'm not saying that, okay? I'm not saying that. And this is something I feel like I keep talking about with the MCU movies, but the interactions between characters that we just didn't expect to interact, you have, and I'm not going to say who they are or what they are, just combinations in there. The most interesting of combinations. Characters that we have not seen together in the trailers. And there's not one solo adventure that I truly had a problem with, like Age of Ultron. Thor's storyline in that, I didn't take to it like I wanted to. I can't really sit here and think about one that I struggled to get on board with, and that is just another impressive achievement. They're very minor issues, and issues, honestly, that you're going to come across when you fit this many characters in a movie. There are some characters that just did not get as much as I wanted from them. I'll give you an example. I won't say why. I think Groot was a little bit underused. I'll go into more detail in my spoiler review, but once again, they had to bring all of these characters together, and you're not going to get... I think they handled it the best they could. Maybe that's just me being super optimistic, but my goodness, how else are you going to do it? There was also some times when the dialogue was a little wonky. There was a line that Scarlet Witch said. What did she say? Okay, this isn't a spoiler, but there's a scene where she looks at a television screen and says, "What are they?" And I just looked at Madison. I'm like, that was bad. And there were one or two of those in the film, and also the editing was a thing that is a little weird to me because you're jumping back and forth so quickly. Is it that the editing was bad and choppy, or is it that we've just never seen a movie with a scale like this? We've never seen a film tackle such a monumental task and achieve that task by giving us all of these storylines. It's something that we've never seen, so my brain needs to sit and process it because honestly, it's a different style of filmmaking. And I know that sounds weird, but when you guys see the movie, you're going to see that it's not your typical 3-act structure. It's divided in a way that I think brings a little bit more depth to a film with so many main characters. And I know I'm supposed to be in the negatives, but honestly, I've gave you guys all of the nitpicks that I have with the film. I'm going to have to watch it 3 or 4 more times before I can come up with a cohesive thought. Or should I say a cohesive thought that I'm not making while I'm on an emotional high. I've talked way too much, guys. This is a non-spoiler review, so I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to give this film a 93% because I do genuinely believe that this is one of the most entertaining experiences I have ever had in a theater and one of the most monumental blockbusters we will ever see in our lifetime. And guess what, guys? Guess what? We have another Avengers movie coming out next year, and I hope you guys get excited. And also, stick around to my channel because we are still on the Avengers content train for the rest of the week. I have a Thanos video, I have ranking my MCU movies, and a special spoiler-filled review that I'm so excited to get into because this, you just can't say anything right now. Comment your thoughts. Don't spoil anything, please. I ask you guys very nicely. Just comment your thoughts. What did you think about the movie? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you on board with me? Do you feel differently? Whatever it is, let me know. Thank you guys so much for commenting on all of my videos. I truly love you guys, and stick around. Hit that notification, hit that bell, because for some reason my videos, they're just not going out to my subscribers like they should be. I've had multiple people complain. Just hit that bell in the corner so you get my notifications, and you'll know when I come out with a brand new video. And hopefully tomorrow morning I'm going to tackle a Netflix review. You guys are the absolute best, and I'll catch you later.